Okay, this is a follow-up to the pictures I posted earlier of my Tacx Flux S feet. And the reason why I designed it this way is because I work out in my shop. And it's basically an 8 by 8 workshop that is also where I exercise on Zwift. So when I do ride on the trainer, I put it at a diagonal to the other corner, and that's where my monitor is. And then I have my computer stand that I slide in front of the bike. I don't have out and out plans. I'm just a utilitarian designer builder, so I just went with what seemed to be an obvious choice of where to place the tennis balls. Although this 1 foot here, I am going to change it because it is a little bit tipsy on this end. I'm just going to make a new one where the tennis ball is out to the side more, towards the front, like the other side, so that it is a little more stable. And that's what I'll show you how I did it. The first thing I did was download a picture of the trainer and printed it out and just kind of hand sketched what I thought would work, and then went to the next step. And of course you could design it in any shape you want. You could do a full piece of plywood under the whole trainer, but again, my floor space is limited, so I needed something I could remove pretty easily. So the next thing I did was get a piece of plywood. Just went to local hardware store, got some good plywood. You're going to want to make sure it's at least 5 ply to make it strong enough. Something that you might want to make furniture out of. And then I just traced around the leg so that I have orientation of where the tennis balls might go. The next thing I did was I took a 4-inch hole saw. This one is also used for lights in your ceiling. And I cut 2 discs, 4-inch discs that will put the tennis balls in them in a little while. So I bring them over to the piece of plywood, and now I can just kind of move them around, see where I think I might want to locate them, and then trace around them once I figure out that location. Okay, so here's the shape that I'm going to use. The reason why I have kind of round corners is because I have a small space and I don't like to stub my toe on square corners, but you can certainly make it any shape you want. Okay, now that I've got it cut out, I went ahead and placed the disc over the top and just drilled a hole through the other side so I can center it where I need to glue it. So I'm just going to flip this over and place these right over those holes, and I'll center it and then let it dry overnight, and then go to the next step. So you want to put enough glue in there that when you clamp it down, it oozes out, and that way you know there's enough to hold. And then clean off all the excess.
Eilish, she won Song of the Year.
So I use the drill just to center, make sure I'm in the right spot, and I spin it around, and I leave that in there, and then I clamp it. I'll clamp it until it dries for tomorrow. So now it's the next day, and the glue is dried. And the next thing I'm going to do is use this 2 1/8 hole saw, which is smaller than the diameter of the tennis ball, but it's big enough to create a pocket so that when I use the router bit to make a pocket, it sits in there and it won't come out, it won't pop out. So I use this hole that I left in there to center the hole in the double thickness of the plywood. So that's what I'll do next. Okay, so the next thing you do is, so a tennis ball is 2.5 inches, and our hole is 2 1/8. So we will widen the top part of the circumference about that much. So next we need to make the hole bigger so that this fits in there just halfway down. And our tennis ball is 2.5 diameter, and we need to increase the hole by 3/8. 1, 2, 3/8. So we'll make a line around the side, and we'll use this bit, the depth of the blade, which creates the pocket for our tennis ball, to just slide into, and it doesn't move around, it won't come out. So you have to do that kind of freehand with the router, going very slow and just coming down just beyond the height of this bit and over 3/16 all the way around. So that's what we're going to do next. So if you look at the bottom of the trainer, there are feet on each leg, and on the bottom, the back part, I'm just going to make a recess so that these feet sit on top of the foot that I'm making so that it doesn't have a tendency to walk off. So what I'm going to do is, just like I did on the other foot, router out this shape. I've traced it onto the new foot, and I'll make it's about 1/2 inch deep pocket, and that'll help with keeping it connected.